Welcome back to Life Talk with Lady T. And today I am joined by the accountability accountant, Miss Folasade. In a previous video, I discussed that I wanted to talk about financial literacy. She's here today to tell us where in our entrepreneurial journey should we consider getting an accountant. Stay tuned. So today I am joined by the accountant, Miss
Folasade.
Please let my viewers know your many titles.
So I'm an enrolled agent, small business growth strategist, and I am an accountant. So I basically help entrepreneurs come from confusion to business growth and management. And I do that by incorporating the business coaching aspect and then the accounting, which is extremely broad.
So, out of all the accounting fields, what made you decide to get into this realm of accounting?
Really, really good question. So I became interested in becoming an accountant, specifically in the tax and the financial aspect. It's because growing up in the underserved community that I grew up in, I remember around tax season, my mom and all of the other moms in our neighborhood were like walking to H&R Block to go and get their tax refunds, get their taxes prepared. And all I know, I will walk with my mom, rain, sleet, or snow. We all walking, okay? I would walk into the H&R Block with my mom, and it'd just be a long line. And it was just so much enthusiasm and just so much excitement about everybody getting this money, this money. You go to H&R Block, you come back out with a check. That's what I knew. At that point, I didn't realize that they were getting a tax refund until I went into my dad's accounting firm and started interning. And then that's when it clicked. If I'm able to teach people how to effectively manage and control their taxes, I can help them better further their finances for the future and long term. So being that kid in the hood, growing up, seeing the chaos and the excitement, I knew that that was a starting point to really break barriers in the African American community through their finances. So that's what intrigued me to do. I was curious, like, oh, you coming up with 5,000, 8,000, like, what's that for? So, yeah.
Yeah, so I am a business major and I thought that I would minor in accounting, and then I realized I really don't want to know the numbers like this. I don't want to know it. Certain parts of accounting, like I got really well, like I could do the managerial accounting, financial accounting, not my suit. I got the cost accounting. And I was like, mm-mm. So I know that for me, being an entrepreneur and being in the creative entrepreneur space, that's why I'm so happy that we have experts like you that know their numbers. I don't want to know the back office stuff. I just want to be able to focus on creating and doing the thing that I'm most passionate about. So the topic of this video is when to get an accountant. So can you tell us, when in the business process does an entrepreneur need to seriously think about getting an accountant?
This is a really good question. So throughout the business cycle, first of all, you have structure. So you're basically setting up your business. That is the first set of communication and contact that you should have with your accountant. Before you just go out and register your business, go on legal Zoom, boop, 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 you know, and do your paperwork. No, you don't want to do that. You want to consult with your accountant to confirm that the structure that you are attempting to register and the business name and just the logistical parts of it is aligned with what you're trying to achieve. So let me give you a real world example. If you are a six-figure earner coming from your 9 to 5 and you're still operating that 9 to 5, having a normal LLC may not work for you for tax purposes. However, maybe structuring to a corporation, maybe structuring to an S corp may be more beneficial for tax purposes for your particular situation. So my advice to all entrepreneurs that's just starting out is to hire your accountant initially just for a consult, just to make sure you're structuring the business well and it meets what your industry, number one, and two, your needs. But then also you're going to get that guidance on how to manage the business as well.
Mm-hmm.
So inception, You want to consult with them, okay? Now,
Mm-hmm.
once you register the business with LegalZoom and you're like, oh, I got my business cards, I got my website address, I have everything. What's the next step? 1 year have gone by and you didn't realize that you needed to prepare your bookkeeping so you can do taxes. So I necessarily wouldn't say a startup that doesn't have funding to hire an accountant to do the bookkeeping, but I would say hire an accountant to set it up properly for you and to
Mm-hmm.
train you on how to manage it yourself. So that will be the second type of contact and communication that you will want to be in with your accountant. The moment that you spend and make money, the next consult is bookkeeping training, okay? And then
Mm-hmm.
once you get the bookkeeping training, the third thing that you need to do, and that's going to come extremely fast, is you want to have your accountant at least prepare the first year business return. So just so you can have an idea of what the return will look like, what paperwork you need, what deductions you can take, and you can get all of the advice that you need to really manage your
We're talking, so you said that you are a small business strategist and an accountant.
yes.
So can you explain a little bit the difference of those two things?
Okay, so the small business strategist is the individual that can, well, is me that I would then take your accounting numbers that I've already developed, okay, and then I will analyze that data and then provide you guidance, advice, and just the analytics behind the numbers. So let's say, for example, you say you're in the hair industry. If
Mm-hmm.
I was preparing your financial statements, I may look at them for a broad period of maybe January 1 until, let's say, March this year. I would then say, you know what, Lady T, revenue was slow selling this product. What did you do in terms of marketing for this product? Come to find out, the truth be told, the numbers show that you didn't even promote the product. So at that time, the small business strategist will come in and say, you know what, hey, go ahead on and put this protocol in place, market the product for XYZ amount of days. Let's monitor what response we get, and then let's tweak and make adjustments from there. So I basically utilize the accounting to help you grow and profit and build your business. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense?
Yes. Yes. So one is more you're just dealing with the numbers, and then the other side, because I know what a business strategist does, but the other side is more like you're planning specific things. Like it's not necessarily about the numbers. Okay, so two separate
Exactly.
tasks, but
Yes.
good to have them both. Okay. Okay. So let's say that someone has an idea for starting a business. What's one thing that you would suggest that they do before going in and actually trying to build it into something?
Oh, good question. So the first thing that you want to do is first down, write down everything that you know about this particular new venture. So let's use a mobile detailing company just to give for for your listeners. So we own a mobile detailing company, okay? And once you come up with that bright idea, you don't just go and register the business. First of all, go and see what's the demand for it. Go and see if people even clicking and Googling mobile detailing in your community, in your area. Now, if you go and look at the Google Trends and you see that they are Googling mobile detailing in your area, ding, 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 you might have something going. Once you get that inclination that people are interested and that there is a core demand for, the second thing you want to do is see what competition you have within your surrounding area. So I'm in the PG community, in Prince George's County, Maryland area here. So what I would do is benchmark the whole PG County. How many mobile detailing firms are in Prince George's County? Then I will also go and get the statistical data about the community. How many residents, how many homeowners, how many cars. Based off that, and see, this is the thing, these new businesses, Ms. D, are not even doing this stuff. This is why they're failing faster than what they can start up. So once you go and see how much competition, how many people, residents in the area, that allows you to see how big your market is. Is this sustainable? Is there enough clients and prospects in the area to sustain? Once you get that preliminary data in, then that's when you start to come up with your marketing plan, your profit plan, and all of those things that many newbies do not even consider before running out and registering the business. Registering the business is the easy part. Putting in the work and analyzing and figuring out what is the game plan and how we're going to execute on this is the challenging part. I'm seeing so many newbies fail at. So that's what I would do.
Okay. So do your research first.
Basic.
Do your research. So that's actually really good. Now, can we talk about, you were talking about business structures earlier on. So you were saying that an LLC may not necessarily be the right thing for someone that still works a 9-to-5 for tax purposes. You decide to start a business, but you know that you want to have other corporations underneath that business. So I guess we're talking about the shell company. Where would you suggest they start in that process if they know that they want to have multiple business underneath one umbrella?
I would automatically first say, just go ahead on. And so I have to give a disclaimer. This is not accounting advice, and accounting advice is given direct to the individual. So I have to know all of your situations first before you guys take this as direct just for your particular situation. But on a general level, in this particular case, all you need to do is basically structure it in any given format. So it can be a corporation, it can be an S Corp, or it can be an LLC. It doesn't matter the actual structure. What matters is how the taxes are filed and how you are registering your EIN numbers and whether or not it's set up to be subsidiaries of the company. Okay, so this is where so many startups mess up. They want to do that, but let's look at all actuality. The bigger companies that we see utilizing this way of doing business, they didn't start off with all of the different structures. They started off with the normal LLC, and then they started to expand and realize, okay, you know what? I need to now register this business to be able to offer and promote this service in conjunction to what we're already doing. So I will automatically say is, first of all, make sure that the first business is what it really needs to be. And the reason why I say that is because each industry have different NAICS code, and might require you to have different bookkeeping accounts, different EIN numbers. So that type of structure, I personally do not even recommend for a newbie, and this is why they get stuck and confused and end up in financial debt. So from an accountant that's been in the game for so long, Miss Lady T, I know other accountants may be like, well, you should have told them, Folasade. I don't want nobody to be digging up any more holes. I would just say start off first with the one structure. Once you're ready, that's when you then need to consult with an accountant, because we need to first figure out if we need to convert you to a corporation and then have LLCs as the subsidiaries, or have that LLC as the holding company and have other LLCs as the subsidiaries. It's just or have it as DBAs. So this is not a one-size-fits-all response, and I apologize for your audience about that. But I personally would just say, focus on the first business. The alignment will come with all of the other ones. And if they're not directly connected, you don't want them as in a holding company. So let's say with the hair and then you mobile detailing, they should not be in one holding company. Two different NAC codes. And if somebody come and buy your company, you want to be able to separate them effectively and say, you only get the detailing, you don't own this. But if it's not done right, these small businesses can end up getting themselves jammed and get all of their businesses snatched. So that's why I just don't recommend me saying it verbally, because you want to consult with the professional for that type of advanced accounting. Sorry.
No, you answered my question. You answered my question perfectly fine, because a lot of people will go and do that. But it's like, if you know that you have the mindset that you want to do more, your recommendation is you start with one, and then you go to a professional and you ask them about how do they go ahead and pursue adding other things into it.
Yes, and let me go a little bit deeper into that, because most of the time when we want to do that, we don't even need to have the holding company, because all you need to do is just add it as a different service. And I don't want to play on us being naive, but because in the brown community, we lack real business guidance, we don't understand that type of Structure is meant for a higher level of performance. It's levels to it, one step at a time. And once you get to make business one profitable, it'll be easy to consult with an accountant, pay their fee, then they'll say, hey, this is what you need to do. But my fear is that people will run out and get stuck. And I've seen that often. I don't know about you, but most business owners that I see with all of those different entity structures from the beginning, they don't make it. They don't go nowhere. They're stuck and they don't know how to proceed.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And that's why I personally said I do not think accounting is for me. And I will pay an accountant to teach me or show me what it is I need to do so that things can be structured correctly. Because I do agree with you. It's not something that you are taught. And I went to school for business, and certain things like business, well, I went to school technically for business administration. So maybe a business management or something would teach me these things in case anybody's out there listening like, well, I learned it in school. She wasn't paying attention.
I did it.
They ain't teach me business structure and like okay, here you go. Now go off and prosper in business. That's something that you have to secondary want to learn on your own or get with a professional that can help you through it. What is one of the most common mistakes that you've seen people make? Well, you've seen businesses make as far as accounting.
It starts off with the inception where the initial question you asked me was, when should they hire an accountant? And I said during inception, before you register your business. That's where I see the most mistakes. They go and register the business as a LLC, and then somebody told them they need to be an S Corp. Go and get the EIN number as an S Corp, and then don't file the S Corp tax return. They filed a Schedule C. They end up accumulating $10,000 to $15,000 in penalty charges because they was an S Corp, so they filed their taxes improperly. So automatically, the biggest mistake that I'm seeing businesses make right now is knowing how to operate their business after they've registered and structured it. So what do we do after? I have the LLC, but how do I manage it? What am I supposed to be filing? What tax returns am I supposed to be filing? Am I supposed to collect sales tax? That first step is where the break is. And they don't perform well if they're stuck there. Turnaround times, even going as far as systems process. So I'm gonna just say collectively the management part of the business. We can put the product out there, come up with the bright ideas, but managing the day-to-day operations is where I see the struggle come from. And it starts because they never got the guidance initially to know what's required and what's needed to be done.
Okay. So what does the term financial literacy mean to you?
Okay, the term financial literacy means to me is knowing the ins and out on how to manage your money effectively. Knowing how to save, when to save, knowing how to put a budget together, knowing how to review your budget, just being knowledgeable about the day-to-day of money management.
I like that answer. I definitely think that financial literacy for me is freedom. And this is just in personal finances. It gives you the freedom to not feel like you have to rush and do a bunch of, like you have to rush and continuously attempt to make money. So we're going to take a pause for the cause, and if you've made it this far, then you might as well go ahead and subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of content. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
And people are starting to really think about it a little bit more, and I'm getting a message. Felasade, you said it 4 years ago. I should have did it, but that's not what we want. We want them to take action today. So your platform like this, my platform, and all of ours, we're doing our part. We're doing it.
I mean, that's all you can do. Like I said, things that people don't think are cool. I'm always like, nope, dope conversations with accountants, like meeting, networking, all that. Those are things that you were going to need to do for life. Accounting. I was sitting there thinking the hashtags. I'm like, a dope conversation with an accountant. Why? Because the IRS don't play about their money, and neither does she, and neither should you. No, you got to know your taxes, your accounting. I heard through the grapevine that you now have a planner out. Can you tell my viewers the reason why you decided to create your planner?
The Mommypreneur Planner. What I realized is that if we don't have structure in our lives, we can never really have structure in our businesses. And the reason why so many 1099ers or sole proprietors or even startups do not achieve the level of success that they want and desires because they never acquired the level of discipline that it requires you to shift in the mindset when you become a boss. Is no one there to say, hey, get up, boo, you got to work. You got to pay your bills. Is nobody there telling you you're on a clock. This is mandatory. It's nobody processes or uniform that you have to follow. So this is why I created the Mommypreneur Planner, because it holds you accountable to do the work that's required so you can live the life that you dream of. And so if we don't have different mechanisms like planners and reminders and schedules and all that stuff, we would never get the outcome. And you said something to me that you want freedom, and we would never get the freedom, because I don't care how much money you have. If you don't have the discipline, the structures, the processes and stuff in order, you will never be free. So that's what I kind of want to leave people with. And all of that, honestly, Lady T, connects to your dollars. So I don't know if they told you, I'm the accountability accountant. So I connect what you do to your money. So if you're not promoting, it shows. If you're tired, it shows. If you fuss with your husband for a week, it shows on your financial statements. Like my clients, they'll be like, Folasade, how do you know I'm having problems with my house? And I said, I can see the numbers. You didn't make any sales calls. You didn't make any money this week. You didn't do this. I said, tell me what you did this week. Oh, well, your numbers show that you didn't do. So tell me, how many emails you sent? Folasade, please stop. Okay. All right. You got it. I had a very stressful week. Me and my husband did not get along, blah, and it all. So what I realized is that everything in our day-to-day life impacts our overall success in our businesses. This is why Caucasian families, if you notice, if it's a business owner in the family, the wife doesn't work, the husband doesn't work. They support them, because you cannot handle everything. You have to give your burden, some of your pressures away. But in the brown community, we don't have that. Everybody want to be the boss. Now understand, we got to get one up first, then we can pull everybody up. But that comes with the discipline, and that comes with the knowledge to say, you know what, I can't start 5 businesses at the same time. Got to start one and then fund the 5 businesses from that one. But I think the mere fact that we don't have the disciplines and the structures and the business acumen, it all plays into why our businesses fail at a much more rapid rate. And actually, our small business failure rate is 98% in comparison to the normal 95. We're already far. The average Black-owned business is closed within 2 years. So, yeah, that was a mouthful, Lady T. And I can talk. I don't know if Chan told you this. I can talk.
That is fine. See, Let's Talk with Lady T. I am okay with talking. I'm okay with talking. I'm okay with listening. All right. So thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on the show. And I don't know what they say, don't preach behind the preacher. I don't want to preach behind the preacher, but if you all didn't get it, get yourself an accountant. Get yourself an accountant. That way we can make money. We can stop working the 9 to 5s. Get an accountant and respect them.
Yes.
The conversation with the accountant continues next Thursday. Subscribe so you can be notified of the next upload.